but they do have Kenny Arnold to step in for him, and Kenny Arnold's done a great job for Olson's ball club. The problem is replacing Kenny Arnold at his position because he's a great outshooter. In fact, without Lester, he's the leading scorer. But, of course, none of this means anything because, like Lou Henson's told us, sometimes you play better when your best player's not there. Everybody else picks up the slack, and that might happen tonight. We should have a good basketball game.
Well, the Illini are fresh off the championship at the Rainbow Classic out in Honolulu, and there were some encouraging developments out there, Dan, especially with the offensive center position.
13 points apiece in the championship game against Hawaii from Derek Holcomb and from James Griffin, and that's the most they've scored combined in a ball game all year. 26 points. They also got a lot of rebounds. And Illinois is definitely going to need that big center play when they go up against the likes of Mr. Steve Wade tonight and Joe Barry Carroll later on, Herb Williams of Ohio State, and there's so many good centers in the Big Ten.
And we won't see Mark Smith in the Illinois starting lineup tonight.
I don't know if Mark was watching the Rose Bowl or what, but he missed practice on Tuesday, New Year's Day, after the Illini got back from Honolulu. And missing practice does not sit well with Coach Lou Henson, so Mark will not be in the starting lineup, but I'm sure we'll see him before too long.
Okay, we'll be back to set the starting lineups for this Big Ten opener. Ronnie Lester certainly played a big role in both those games.
He certainly did. He was a guy that did just about everything for the Hawkeyes in both of corners, and that's how Iowa got by the Illini, both here and over in Iowa City. And he won't be here to run that tonight, but as we said, Kenny Arnold will be, and he's done a fine job filling in so far.
Referees for this evening's game: Ed Marisich from Calumet Park, Illinois, Darwin Brown from Middletown, Ohio, and Mike Stockner rounds out the crew for the Big Ten tonight. The Big Ten season opens tonight with action throughout the conference. Of course, Iowa at Illinois here, Indiana at Ohio State at a big one, Minnesota at Michigan, Northwestern at Wisconsin, Purdue at Michigan State. And Ohio State has quite a start, opening against Indiana and then Purdue. So things...
How crazy will it be in St. John Arena tonight?
We're ready for the starting lineups. And we've been given a variety of lineups for the Iowa Hawkeyes. We'll see who finally makes their appearance. First out is Vince Brookins. He'll be wearing number 32. He's a 6'5" junior from Collinwood High School in Cleveland. He's averaging 10 points a game. Now for the Illini, been introduced to the other side. Eddie Johnson, number 33, a 6'8" junior from Chicago Westinghouse, averaging 17 points a game. Now back to Iowa. Here's number 44, Mark Gannon, a freshman from Iowa City, 6'6", 215 pounds, averaging 5 points a game. And Neil Bresnahan being introduced for the Illini, number 31, 6'6", 200-pound senior from Fenwick High School at Oak Park. Here's Steve Waite, 6'10", junior center from West High School of Iowa City, averaging 6 points a game. Big center, number 52. And here's number 13 for the Illini, James Griffin, 6'10", sophomore from Fort Worth, averaging 10 points a game. Here's Kenny Arnold, number 30, 6'2", sophomore from Calumet High School in Chicago, averaging 13 points a game and leading the team in assists. Next out for Illini, Reno Gray, number 10, 6'2", senior from Chicago. And number 40 for Iowa, Kevin Boyle, normally a forward, he'll be starting in the guard tonight, 6'6", sophomore from Chicago St. Louis. And last out, Rob Jetson, a 6'2" senior from Zion Benton, getting the start tonight for the Illini.
That's the guard combination, Dave, that Illinois went to out in Honolulu instead of Kevin Bontemps and Reno Gray or Kevin and Perry Range. You wanted to get a little bit more offense in there, and I really don't know how that worked out. The guards didn't score a lot of points, but they sure were successful out there winning those 3 games, so Lou's going to stick with the same backcourt tonight.
Dan, we want to welcome our neighboring state of Iowa tonight. Fans over there watching this evening on KCRG in Cedar Rapids and on Hawkeye Cablevision in Des Moines, joining our fans across central Illinois for this launching of the Big Ten basketball season. Iowa 9 wins, no defeats. The Illini 10 wins, 2 defeats. And you have to say the Illini have played a little tougher schedule, going up against the likes of Brigham Young, Louisville, Marquette, and Missouri. Iowa's last outing against Drake that they won at home. Iowa always tough at Iowa City. And the Illini trying to establish some kind of an advantage at home. They've lost both games that they've lost this year, have been at home. And tonight, the U of I students are still not back in force, still on semester break, so not quite a capacity crowd at the Assembly Hall. We're set to play basketball now with James Griffin jumping against Steve Waite. There's the tip, and the Illini have it. Rob Jetson over to Reno Gray. We're underway at the Assembly Hall. Kenny Arnold on Gray. This is Jetson with the ball, back to Reno.
Well, Iowa straight up, hard-nosed man-to-man.
Bresnan, look, shoots. Rimmed it. Kevin Boyle with the rebound for the Hawkeyes, and here they come.
That's the advantage of a big guard, Dave. He can go to the boards.
Gannon threw the ball away, but picked up by Arnold.
Illinois is also straight up man-to-man. Gray has Arnold out front. There's a mismatch right there, Kevin Boyle and Rob Judson.
Ball taken away by Griffin, slapped it away from Steve Waite. Bresnan looped the pass into Griffin, but off his fingertips, and the ball goes right back to Iowa.
I think everybody's just a little bit tight starting out here.
And I got to do a little pressing. Lute Olson, coach of the Hawkeyes, now in his 6th year with a 90-56 record at Iowa. He's had 3 winning seasons in 5 previous years. This is Brookins for the Hawkeyes. Going to jump it long, and he hit it. Vince Brookins gets the first 2 points of the game. It's Iowa 2, Illinois nothing. This Iowa team, good shooting team, and especially at the free throw line. They killed Illinois last year at the charity stripe, and Ronnie Lester did most of that, although a guy named Paith and a guy named Norman added to it. They're gone through graduation. Gray puts it up, no good, short. That's Gannon with the rebound.
Iowa fell back in the zone that time, Dave. Maybe they're going to go zone after they score. Alternate
Arnold
defenses.
missed the shot, tip up, no good. Next one, no good. And James Griffin finally comes down with it for the Illini. Illinois still not on the scoreboard yet. We've played a minute and a half.
Iowa may not be big. They have 2 6'6" players and a 6'5" in Brookins. They really hit the boards, and they're going to be tough tonight.
Here's Griffin. James Griffin makes it 2-2 as they put a soft shot off the board.
And he got loose in the lane. Waite came over to try to cut the pass off, couldn't do it. Nobody could get there in time to help out.
Brookins traveled. Well, Dan, you look at the 2 losses Illinois suffered this year to Missouri and Marquette, and it was super guards that did it to them.
There's another look at the old feet shuffling routine. So there's the turnover. Iowa. Illinois has a chance to go on top.
You remember Drew from almost destroyed the Illini.
Of course, Darrell Griffith, the Louisville.
There's Griffin. Puts it up. That's 4 for James and 4 for Illinois. They lead 4-2. Illinois patiently working that ball into the big man. This is Gannon, the freshman for Iowa. Boyle, St. Lawrence product, hooks it up and hit it. Short jump shot by Kevin Boyle. It's 4-4.
Well, we mentioned Mark Smith out of the lineup because of a violation of training rules, but when Mark comes back in, don't be surprised if they bring him in for a guard and try to get him on Kevin Boyle to ease off that mismatch.
There's Rob in the corner, threw it away. Actually good defense by Iowa. Here's Brookins. He almost lost it, gets it back, puts it up, and missed. Judson up with it. Here come the Illini. Illinois 4, Iowa 4. Eddie Johnson touched the ball for the first time, I think. Eddie had 30 in the championship game against Hawaii out in the Rainbow Classic. Bresnan drives and puts it in there. Heel press the hand.
That's your basic strong move to the hoop. He went right by Steve Waite and put it in.
Bresnan makes it 6-4. We've played nearly 4 minutes and no fouls yet. Pass loop to Waite. Puts it up. No good. Missed everything. Eddie Johnson with a rebound. And again, the Illini showing some good defense on that one. Reno Gray underneath. And walks it back. Feed to Griffin. Couldn't find the handle. Griffin travels. And we have a timeout on the floor with 15:52 to go in the first half. The score, Illinois 6, Iowa 4. And Iowa 4. 4 points for James Griffin, 2 for Neil Bresnan for the Illini. The game has really yet to take on a pattern. The Illini starting without Mark Smith tonight. He'll be in there, though. Here comes Perry Raines to replace either Reno Gray or Rob Judson. We'll see. Judson sits down. So Reno Gray, or Perry Raines is in there. The sophomore from South Beloit. He's wearing number 22.
That'll help the mismatch on Kevin Boyle. I'm sure Perry will have him.
Very little taller. Brookins passed to Waite, puts it up and in. Vince Brookins feeding Steve Waite. It's 6-6. Come to the line, Reno Gray. Gonna jump it. And get dropped.
Didn't know how that thing could stay out. Finally, it fell back in.
They tried to get out of there. Reno Gray puts it in 8-6, Illinois. This is Arnold in the corner with Reno Gray on him.
Almost 5 minutes into the game, they've shut Arnold out so far. Of course, Iowa shut off Eddie Johnson. Neither of players scored. They're both leading both teams.
And Johnson has hardly touched the ball. This is Brookins. We got something called underneath. The first foul of the game is going to be on Perry Range.
Now that's the mismatch problem. Kevin Boyle at 6'6" is trying to post up Perry down low, and you'll see it. The pass going over to Brookins, and there's the post. And the foul's called as Perry got an arm on Kevin.
No shot. They'll take it out of bounds. That's the first foul of the game. Arnold passing in. This is Brookins. Arnold with the ball, former star at Calumet High School in Chicago. There he pops long. No good. Bresnan waits for the rebound, and he's fouled over the shoulder by Vince Brookins. Neal just patiently waited for that one to come down.
As usual, Brez had good position on the inside. He's one of the best rebounders you'll see. That's why he was featured in that Sports Illustrated article on blocking out under the boards.
The one with your picture right behind it. Just jumped right out of there at you, didn't it?
I didn't mean for that to come out.
Bresnahan to Eddie Johnson, puts it up, and no good. He forced it up there. Range picks it up and puts it in.
Boy, Eddie got hammered on the inside that time. He was sandwiched and no foul was called. But Range was there for the follow.
Brookins. And Waite travels. Brookins slipped the pass inside, but Steve Waite carried the ball.
That was a nice pass by Vince Brookins. Waite had the ball. Had he gotten a hold of it and turned on the inside and taken it to the hoop, he could have scored easily. But he couldn't find it. Now Illinois is kind of taking command here.
Illinois 10, Iowa 6, Illinois ball. Going to have Steve Krasison come into the game soon for the Hawkeyes. Bresnahan to Griffin. Could be a foul. Steve Waite picks it up.
Foul on Waite before the shot. That was like face guarding in the NFL, Dave. Waite didn't know where the basketball was, if you can see that on the replay. He's turned all the way around, and Griff was wide open. Steve was leaning on him a little bit. So Waite picks up his first.
Here's Krasison coming in with a big bandage around his right thigh and knee.
Lute Olson told me earlier in the season that Steve's a little bit injury prone, and he's had various assortment of ailments.
Jumper by Gray, short. Johnson high for the rebound, puts it up and in. A beautiful play by Eddie Johnson. That was not a simple turnaround shot.
Well, Eddie's on the board.
12-6, Illinois doubled the score here in the early going. 13:55 to go in the first half. Neglected to say that Waite sat down. Here's Krasison. Hooked it up there and in. Steve Krasison, a junior from Chicago St. Lawrence, transferred from North Carolina, or North Carolina State. Illinois 12, Iowa 8.
So Illinois is back in the zone. I think they're switching almost every time they score.
Eddie, Griffin, he's fouled. And Brookins picks it up. Nice quick pass by Eddie along the baseline.
And we'll get another chance to see the foul that's going to send Griffin to the line. A good pass by Eddie Johnson. And there you see Griff, still a young player. He's got some things to learn yet, Dave. When you get the ball down there, you take it straight to the basket. He was kind of fading away a little bit. He's going to have to learn to go up strong and put that thing in, or else put it right up off the board and get it down quick.
Griffin at the free throw line, 11 out of 19 for the season. He's got 2 shots coming up. And first one's good. 13-8. Boy, it's quiet here.
Sure is. Not very many people here at all.
And the students still away on the semester break. Griff puts it in again. It's 14-8. 6-point lead again for the Illini. And Iowa down quickly with the ball. Kevin Boyle. From the corner, Vince Brookins. 14-10. Now the Illini coming back fast. Perry Range outside to Gray. Had an ocean. Now Range drive, shoots too hard. Griffin's going to get the rebound though. Back to Gray.
So we'll start over again. Iowa still in the zone.
Grange looks inside, loops the pass to Gray, who fires. Too hard. Bresnahan in there for the rebound, but it goes out of bounds. Neal came crashing through. And the score stays 14-10. 12:35 to go in the first half. We have yet to see Mark Smith for the Illini. This is Gannon. Puts it up there. Mark Gannon just muscled it up there. A 6'6" freshman from Iowa City, an all-stater at Iowa. 14-12. Gray to Griffin, foul called. Going to be on Kenny Arnold.
Yeah, Kenny Arnold got him. Reno's giving it the stretch over there, kind of banged up his back. He went up in the air. That was a pretty close call, really. Reno went up to the air, and I don't know if Kenny was positioned properly or not, but he got the personal, and Illinois is going to inbound it.
It's 14 fouls in the Hawkeyes. Johnson open. Missed everything, but Bresnahan's there for the rebound. No good. Blocked by Boyle. Iowa down with it. Arnold jumps long. And he misses again, but the rebound is good. I think that was Crafterson.
Boy, Crafterson gave Eddie Johnson a shot to the chest with an elbow that time.
This game is tied at 14 with 11:43 to go in the first half. And Mark Smith getting set to come in for the first time for Illinois.
We'll get Mark loose in the middle and make some things happen on offense, hopefully.
Too long in the lane for the Illini. Turnover gives the ball back to Iowa. The Hawkeyes now with a chance to take the lead. And we have a timeout on the floor with 11:27 to go in the first half. The score is even at 14. Illinois 14, Iowa 14. Well, Lou Hinson's going to go to his bench with the score of 14-14. Derek Holcomb has come in at center. Number 44, the 6'11" junior from Peoria Richwoods, and Mark Smith, also from Richwood. 6'7" junior is now in the game for the first time. Mark did not start because he missed a practice Tuesday. So Illini with Gray, and Judson is back in at guard. So Gray and Judson at the guards, Johnson, Smith at the forwards, and Holcomb at center. No changes for Iowa after that timeout. We're dead even at 14. Arnold has yet to hit from the field. Here's Boyle. And he fell down. Traveling violation. The Illini get the ball. Those teams have a combined record of 19-2 this year. Iowa undefeated coming into this one.
Hawkeyes didn't score that time down, so they're back to a man-to-man defense. Eddie Johnson and Vince Brookins. Now Gray and Arnold.
It's a veteran Illini lineup in there now. Gray to Judson. Eddie Johnson takes the shot and misses. And Boyle has the rebound. And a foul coming up against Mark Smith under the bucket.
Oh, Mark going for the basketball. Must have cut an arm in there. Talked about Bresnahan's rebounding. You'll see Kevin Boyle in there all night long, too. And we also talked about Bres being in Sports Illustrated. Well, Kevin Boyle was right there, too.
Right.
He's a heck of a defensive player.
Position and timing, two important ingredients in their success in rebounding. That was a second team foul in Illinois. Just coming up to the 10-minute mark in a low-scoring game, 14-14. Here's Arnold popping long. Again, he misses. Rebound, Boyle is good. He's fouled. And that sends Iowa ahead 16-14. And a chance for a three-pointer.
I guess Derek Holcomb picked up the foul, swinging. Oh, Eddie Johnson got it.
It was against Brookins. He fouled Brookins, so Iowa gets the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, after the shot.
So a chance for a four-point play, actually. Arnold inbounds to Mark Gannon. Here's Brookins. Arnold tried to feed, and the ball thrown away. Boyle comes up with it for Iowa. Illini trying to break.
Right idea.
Brookins almost traveled. Here's Arnold. Ball slapped away, but Rod Judson
He just took it right away from Vince Brookins.
And Gray just lost it to Boyle. Down to Arnold, back to Boyle, and he stuffs it. 18-14 Iowa. The lead is 4, the biggest lead of the game for them.
That man-to-man starting to make things happen. Iowa sticking with it, even though they did score that time.
Eddie Johnson with just 2 points so far in the game. Holcomb underneath to Smith, who puts up and in. That's what the Illini have to do.
I can't believe they didn't call a technical foul on that. Kevin Boyle leaped up and just grabbed the rim and hung on it, and no call.
Lou Hinson's reminding the referee about that. 18-16 with 9:22 to go in the first half.
Lewis thought this far away. How'd they miss it?
This is Brookins. Ball tapped away by Smith. It's off of Brookins. And it's a Illini ball.
Lou Hinson likes that one. Great defensive play by Mark Smith. Here's another look at some quick hands. Bounced the ball, and Brookins hit it last and went out of bounds right in front of us, and Illinois has got a chance to tie.
Mark Smith to Holcomb. Pass into Johnson. Nice short. But Iowa has the ball. Mark Gannon down low to Krafsison. He's either traveled or was in the lane. 3-second violation on Krafsison. Neil Bresnahan comes in. Eddie Johnson sits down, still trying to get on track with his shooting. He's had 2 points, and some of his shots have not been close.
Yeah, he's had some in there that he usually puts in, so I'm sure Eddie will get on track before too long.
We're down 8:35 to play in the first half. Iowa 18, Illinois 16. Holcomb out high to Judson. Now Smith. He's swarmed over, but gets away the shot and hit it. A fadeaway jump shot. And it's 18-18. So Smith making his presence felt quickly in there. Brookins guarded by Smith. Rimmed it. Bresnahan slapped it up there, but Gannon rebounded in. Mark Gannon. Powerful freshman out of Iowa City.
He's a big fella, isn't he? He must go about 220. I could list him at 215, but he's bigger than that.
He has 4 points. Iowa has 20. Illinois 18. Holcomb just lost the ball to Krafsison. Another turnover. This is Boyle. Pass to Krafsison. He's fouled. Bresnahan picks it up.
Neil shook his head, said that was all basketball. We'll get a chance to see what exactly did happen down there. Boyle, a nice bounce pass inside. That's the way to get it in. Brez went straight up and slapped him across the arm.
Yeah, we have a timeout on the floor with 7:45 to go in the first half. The score, Iowa 20, Illinois 18. Where Iowa leads Illinois 20-18 in this Big Ten opener for both teams. At one point, Illinois led 14-8, but Iowa came through with 10 straight points, taking 18-14 lead. And now we have some free throws coming up for Steve Krafsison. 6'10", 230 pounds. Averaging 10 points a game. He has 4 so far tonight. Make it 5. 21-18. Iowa hitting on 71% of its free throws. Rimmed that one. The lead remains 3 for the Hawkeyes. Oh, Gray just threw the ball away. Tried to hit Griffin down under. Griffin back into the game in place of Holcomb. The Illini not on track yet against a tough Iowa defense.
Well, Griffin was open that time. He just didn't see the ball coming.
An offensive foul underneath coming up against Mark Gannon. That's 5 team fouls in Iowa. Illinois with 4. That's Illinois ball. It has been a quiet evening so far at the Assembly Hall.
Not many people and not much happening so far. Illinois is going to try to get something started.
This is Bresnahan. Down under to Smith, who bounced off an Iowa player. He's called for traveling.
Well, credit Steve Krafsison with getting in the right place at the right time that time. He jumped right in front of Mark, and Mark had nowhere to go.
There was nothing there for Smith.
Good defense.
Kevin Boyle with the ball. Drives on Jetson. Puts it up. And in. Beautiful shot by Boyles again.
What a
He
shot.
took Rob Judson deep. 23-18 Iowa. 5-point lead for the Hawkeyes. And the crowd is now restless. Reno Gray drives to Griffin. Puts it up and in. James Griffin with a feed from Reno Gray. Griffin with 8 points. He and Kevin Boyle of Iowa have game scoring on her so far. We're down to 6:30 to go in the first half. Iowa by 3. Halftime, we'll hear from new University of Illinois President Dr. Stanley Eikenberry. Here's Gannon. Out to Arnold. Drives. Puts it up. No good again. Smith with the rebound to Jetson. Kenny Arnold still hasn't scored. Nice pass, Jetson to Gray. Hit it. Rob Jetson just flipped the backhand pass to Reno Gray. Put it in. It's 23-22. Brookins fires. Short. Crafts in rebound. Foul.
Oh, terrible foul. Terrible foul by James Griffin. Get another chance to see that one. I don't know if we will, but James just took a slap, and I don't think he had anything to worry about. Craftsman was behind the backboard, I think, when he put that one up.
And a two-shot foul.
It's that mistakes of youth again.
Eddie Johnson going to come back in for the Illini. Craftsman at the free throw line. Here's the replay.
Check it again. Craftsman didn't have much of a prayer making that shot, and Griffin hacked him across the arm.
Bresnahan's going to sit down as Eddie Johnson comes back in the game, and Johnson, who got 30 in that victory over Hawaii on Sunday night, whatever it was, has only 2 points in this game. And Craftsman makes it 24-22. Here's number 2. Hit it again, 25-22 Iowa. Mark Smith drives over Gannon, down to Jetson. I don't think Rob shot yet, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Smith goes against Gannon, puts it up and in. Mark Smith.
What a move.
Just did a job on Mark Gannon. And it's 25-24. Illini trailing by 1.
Crowd's starting to make a little noise now.
Craftsman. Now Kevin Boyle to Kenny Arnold. Back to Boyle. He fires from the corner. No good. Reno Gray with a rebound for the Illini. Crowd showing a little life now as the Illini lose the ball. Kenny Arnold took it right away. He's got Brookins on the wing, but keeps it himself, puts it up and in. 27-24 as Kenny Arnold hits the scoreboard for the first time. Kevin Bontemp's going to come in here for the Illini. As Lou Hinson didn't like what he saw that last play here. Smith, fadeaway jumper no good as Gannon pulls it down for Iowa. Again, the Hawkeyes coming down, leading by 3, and Arnold's going to slow it up.
Iowa's got a couple to check in too. Bob Hansen, the freshman guard, and Steve Waite's going to come back in at center.
Brookins from the corner, and he hit that one. Vince Brookins with 6 points, and the lead is back to 5. 29-24 Iowa.
Play number 1 coming up for Illinois. Maybe that one will work. Not much has so far.
Reno Gray. No good. Griffin rebounds, has it slapped away. We've got a foul coming up against Brookins.
Go back to what I said before, Dave. James just has to get aggressive in there. He's got the flat-footed rebound. He wasn't even going up strong for the basketball. They just knocked it right out of his hand. Fortunately, a foul was called.
The foul was on Vince Brookins. That's 3 on him. We have a timeout on the floor with 3:57 to go in the first half. It's Iowa 29, Illinois 24. It's Iowa 29, Illinois 24 with 3:57 to go in the first half. Kevin Bontemps, freshman from Morton, Illinois, down the game. Perry Range back in a guard. Range, Bontemps, Griffin, Smith, and Johnson the lineup now for the Illini. And Eddie Johnson with just 2 points so far in the first half.
Some changes for Iowa too, Dave. Bob Hansen, the freshman from Des Moines, is in at a guard, and Steve Waite is back in the ballgame also. Crafts isn't staying in though. So Iowa's really got the big boys in there now. Crafts isn't and Waite, both about 6'10".
Derek Holcomb getting set to come in. We'll see if he replaces Griffin or whether the Illini want to match big men. Griffin probably be the substitute, though. He has 2 free throws coming up. Short on the first one. Griff with 8 points so far, averaging 10 for the season. Here's the second. Hit that one. And it's 29-25. Inbound to Boyle. Drives. And Gannon lost the ball out of bounds. Here comes Holcomb in for Griffin. Illini trailing by 4, have the ball. Here's a replay on that one. Boyle just right off the hands of Mark Gannon out of bounds. Iowa with a big lineup in there now. This is Bob Hansen, 6'5" on Bontemps, and Hansen's going to pick up a quick foul.
Well, Illinois is going to the line now. They're in the bonus, so here's a good way to come back if we can hit those free throws. Here's Bontemps against Hansen, a couple of freshmen, and the foul goes to 24 in the black uniform.
Illinois shooting 47% from the field. Iowa right at 50%, 13 out of 26. By now 10 turnovers. Iowa with 9, so pretty even in that category. So Bontemps at the line, 1-1. Misses. And Iowa has the rebounds. Bob Hansen with the ball. Giving Kenny Arnold a break. Crafts is in, tries to slip the pass into Boyle, goes out of bounds. It's Illinois ball.
Pretty tough pass for a big man to throw in there. He's got to get way down and try to shovel it in.
Out there now, 6'5", 6'6", 6'6", and 2 6'10s.
That is a big lineup.
Smith to Holcomb, out of Bontemps. Derek passed up a shot that time.
Yep.
Bontemps drives and
right over Steve White, Kevin Bontemps. Super shot.
29-27. 2:55 to go in the first half. Bob Hansen puts up the jumper, misses everything. Smith fights for the rebound, loses it though to Waite. To Boyle, back to Waite. Up and in.
Oh, what a pass by Kevin Boyle. That was super.
31-27 Iowa. Perry Range having problems. Finally gets to Kevin Bontemps. For a big lineup, they got some quick hands out there, I'll tell you. There's Gannon. The Range puts it up. No good. Waite with the rebound. There's Gannon driving. Up and in.
They're just not getting back on defense.
Iowa taking advantage of the Illini. And the Hawkeyes take a 33-27 lead. The lead 6 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Eddie Johnson puts it up. Rimmed it. He can't buy a basket. And Craftsman calls down the rebound. Iowa taking it right to the basket. Boyle fade away, no good. Johnson rebound. Here come the Illini. 3-on-1. Range against Hansen. Rimmed it. Smith rebound. Good. 33-29. Hansen a range, but not bounce. But they're okay.
Yeah, everybody's up.
Kenny Arnold going to come back in for Iowa. I tell you, Iowa's running more of the ball in the big lineup than they did with the smaller lineup. Hansen nudges Range. Ball tapped out of bounds by Mark Smith.
You know, it's not really fast break basketball, Dave, though. Somebody's just letting their man fly on the sideline down here, and they're just making the long pass, and he's going in for the layup. It's as simple as that.
Big guys get up ahead of steam going to the basket. You clear the way.
I wouldn't want to get in Gannon's way, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, here goes Iowa. Into the freeze with a minute 15 to go in the first half. The crowd won't like it.
Yeah, Ronnie Lester or not, they're going into that deep freeze. Ronnie may be watching back there, so hello and get well fast, but it's kind of nice not to see here tonight.
And Illini almost had the ball. Then he stepped on the sideline, and still Iowa ball. 33-29 with 1 minute even to go in the first half. Yeah, we'll see Ronnie Lester on March 1st over Iowa
City.
City.
Will.
A lot of water will pass under the bridge before March 1st. This Big Ten race. That's the last game of the season.
We sure wish he gets back fast for Iowa's sake. He's a great player.
Kenny Arnold. This is Gannon. Going on, putting on the pressure. The Hawkeyes know how to handle the ball in this situation. We're down to 30 seconds to go in the first half. Well, there goes Hansen. The Craftsman almost traveled. Back he may have. Here's Arnold. 5 seconds to go. Arnold puts it up. No good. And that's the end of the first half.
Oh, Lou Henson wanted the foul on Eddie Johnson. I'm not so sure there wasn't one with Kenny Arnold. He colliding between the rings down here.
Eddie put up a last shot. It was short. And at halftime, the Hawkeyes have the 4-point lead. It's Iowa 33 and Illinois 29.
The town that built it.
Dan Roan back at halftime at the Assembly Hall, where the Iowa Hawkeyes lead the Fighting Illini 33-29. Our guest at halftime is the president of the university.
Thank you. Well, we're going to get started one of these days.
Right.
And you wonder when Illinois is going to get the game going. And you look up, we're halfway through. They're trailing 33-29. But that's the way a good defense will make you look.
Yeah, you look like that the whole ball game unless something happens. Illinois going to have to do something. Iowa's switching defenses, of course, and that's a bit confusing from time to time, but eventually you're going to figure that out. What they're going to have to do is start getting the ball to Eddie Johnson and getting some points for him. He's had a couple of good shots that just rolled around and wouldn't go in. Keep putting them up there, and eventually they're going to fall in. Hopefully that's going to happen for the Illini fans, because if it doesn't, this could be a long second half.
You're watching and you hear in the background the Medicare 7, 8, or 9. A group composed of University of Illinois faculty members and townspeople from Champaign-Urbana and surrounding community. Points, making it 18-14 before the Illini tied it up at 18. But Iowa now has carved out a 4-point lead at halftime, 33-29. The second half of the game will be getting underway in just a few moments.
Well, we won tonight, but it was quite a fight. Now it's...
As we start this second half, neither team in any foul trouble. In fact, Illinois has no players with more than one foul. Iowa has Brookins with 3, but nobody else in foul trouble. In fact, Illinois only had 5 personal fouls in the first half.
That's kind of unusual in itself. Illinois.
That should be a good sign.
Yeah, it should be, but here we are, 4 points down, just about ready to get going.
I want to apologize for my voice tonight, but so far I've made it longer than Lindsey Nelson did in the Cotton Bowl.
I think you're doing a great job.
Let's pause now 5 seconds for station identification. We'll be starting along with Mark Smith, Rob Judson, Reno Gray, and we'll have to see who the 5th one is going to be. It'll be Griffin or Holcomb. An idea, might be Holcomb. It will be Derek Holcomb getting the start in the second half. So a little different lineup at the start of the game for the Illini.
Mark Smith took a little vacation through the first 11 minutes for missing practice on Tuesday.
The Illini only had 23 shots in the first half.
Yeah, shooting percentage is not bad at all.
But not a whole lot of shots.
Yeah, almost 47%. They just have to get a few more off.
Iowa goes with their starting lineup. Waite, Brookins, Gannon, Arnold, and Kevin Boyle. And we're set to play basketball. It's Iowa 33, Illinois 29 as we start the second half. Holcomb jumping against Brookins. Easily to Johnson. Nice pass to Smith, who missed it. And that's the bad way to begin the second half for the Illini.
Yeah, let's hope that's not an omen.
They had it cold. 33-29 it remains.
Oh, what a pass. Super pass by Johnson.
Arnold almost surprised Vince Brookins with the pass.
I think everybody's beginning to wake up here. We might get some basketball.
Well, the Illini might still have a little jet lag. They had a long trip back from Hawaii. Here's Waite all free for the shot. He missed. Boyle's rebound is up and in. And a foul underneath on Illinois.
3-0. Rob Judson picks up the personal, and the bucket counts. Here's another look The action inside. Kenny Arnold to Waite, who misses the shot, but there's Boyle for the rebound, and Judson pushed him, and the bucket went in.
Well, Iowa quickly opens up a 6-point lead, and Boyle can make it 7. He's the leading scorer in this game with 10 points. Former star at Chicago St. Lawrence. 36-29. The lead is 7 as well. It's Burbank, St. Lawrence, a suburb of Chicago. The St. Lawrence long of power in the Catholic League. Boyle brought him down here to the Assembly Hall twice.
Lou Henson wasn't too thrilled about the foul on Judson. Rob's out of the game. Range is back in.
Eddie Johnson steps on the inline. Another mistake for the Illini. It's Iowa ball. They lead by 7.
Why's the ball out of bounds over there? I don't understand that. I don't know what that call was.
This is Arnold with the ball for Iowa. Fitz Brookins at the top of the key. To Boyle. Back to Waite. Iowa gets a lead. They'll freeze it. Brookins hit it. And Iowa off to a hot start here. 38-29.
Boyle knocked it out of bounds off Reno Gray, and the Hawkeyes have the basketball.
Iowa's put up 5 straight points now. And they have the ball into their own basket. 38-29, the biggest lead of the ball game. Arnold. Boyle has opened for the shot, and he rimmed it. Holcomb with a rebound. Finally, something good for the Illini. Gray threw it away, and Kenny Arnold comes right across our table. It's Illinois ball. Perry Range to throw in right in front of us. Kevin Bontemps is going to check in, though, to replace Reno Gray. Lou Henson didn't like what he saw then. So Range and Bontemps with the Illini guards. 38-29. The Illini have yet to score here in the second half. And Range takes care of that.
As you were saying it,
38-31.
you're certainly right about not falling too far behind an Iowa team, because you saw what they did at the end of the first half. They'll do exactly the same thing with a lot of time left.
Pass in again, and is slapped away by Perry Range. Iowa keeps the ball.
Good help by Perry Range that time. He's got Boyle in the man-to-man defense, but he came over to knock the ball away from Gannon that time. They're going to zone the inbounds play.
Inbound to Boyle in the corner. Not Arnold. They'll take their time. They lead by 7. Long cross-court pass to Brookins, who fires. Hits from the deep corner. Vince Brookins makes it 40-31.
That was a design play. Don't think it wasn't. They screened off Eddie Johnson, who was Illinois' wing defensive man, and Brookins was wide open out there in the corner.
10 points for Brookins.
Iowa's sagged back into that zone again. Got to move it quicker than that to get a good shot.
There's Smith with the ball. To Bontemps. Back to Smith. Takes it to the basket and misses the shot. Vince Brookins comes down with a rebound. And Holcomb gets it away from him. Loses it though. And Gannon finally picks it up for Iowa.
Good effort by Holcomb that
Nice
time.
try.
He was scrapping for the basketball.
Arnold sails one up. No good. Johnson, long pass to Smith. And Smith holds up. No, gives to Holcomb. Back to Smith. Ball tapped away. Foul on Kenny Arnold.
Oh, my. Wild action that time. I don't know if Derek Holcomb didn't travel underneath the basket or not. It looked like he skidded about 4 steps.
I tell you, Holcomb has been in some real action the last few seconds. First on defense, then on offense. Illinois gets the ball out of bounds. Perry Range will toss in. Illini trailing by 9. Hanson going to come back in for Iowa. Just passing the ball around. Those Range shoots, no good. And Waite picks up the loose ball in the corner. Ball sailed right by Derek Holcomb. Kevin Boyle brings the ball down against Perry Range. Boyle 6'6". And we have a foul called underneath on Steve Waite.
Well, he knew it too. Put the hand right up. Offensive foul, pushing off on Holcomb inside.
Second team foul at Iowa. Hanson in, and Kenny Arnold sits down. Hanson, 6'5" freshman. Des Moines, Iowa. The crowd trying to get the Illini stirred up. And trail by 9. Eddie puts it up, off the board and in, and finally, Eddie breaks a long scoring drought. He has 4 points now.
If you can get away with it, that's a way to solve his own. Take it right down the gut and put it in.
40-33. And a foul against Perry Range. Iowa will take the ball out of bounds. That's the second team foul on Illinois.
There's another look, pressure by Bontemps, and Range is going to pick up the foul as he's pushing Kevin Boyle right there.
Hanson inbounds on the near side. Brookins, and looked like he carried the ball. Nothing called. Back to Hanson, who puts up the short jumper and hits it.
Boy, that's an important
didn't
play.
like that
Vince
one.
Brookins traveled right in front of us. No question, he had both feet off the ground and had the basketball in his hand.
9-point lead again for Iowa. Brookins with 10 points. That was Hanson with the ball, rather.
Illinois comes right back and takes it down deep to Holcomb. Good move.
42-35.
Starting to heat up a little bit, Dave.
This is Hanson with a loose ball. Puts up the jump shot. And he hit it. 44-35. The lead is 9. Johnson shot from the corner, good. 44-37. Eddie Johnson taking the baseline. 15 minutes to go in this game. Illini trail by 7. Here's Bob Hanson with the ball, drives again. Back to Boyle. And a foul called away from play on Mark Smith.
Cut Mark Holding down inside. I think he had hold of Vince Brookins, so Illinois picks up another personal foul.
Foul number 3 against Illinois, and a timeout on the floor with 14:49 to go. It's Iowa 44, Illinois 37. Iowa 44, Illinois 37. 14:49. Go in the game. Halftime score, Indiana was leading Ohio State 32-27. And Michigan leading Minnesota at halftime 39-34. Indiana playing at Ohio State.
Right.
Without Mike Woodson. But as Lou Henson says, losing a key player can pump the rest of the team up higher. And Iowa's doing okay right now without Ronnie Lester.
They sure are.
Kevin Boyle.
Missed that one.
Holcomb is fouled by Vince Brookins. That's 4 on Brookins.
That's the first semblance of foul trouble anybody's had. Nobody else has more than a couple. And Brookins was caught pushing off. The shot goes up by Boyle from the wing. Holcomb is there, and Brookins rather pushes him over the top.
So Iowa put the Twin Towers in there, bring in Steve Krafsis in at 6'10". They have Steve Waite in there at 6'10".
Waite moves pretty well, Dave. He's not that slow, but Krafts isn't no speed merchant in there. Maybe Illinois can take advantage of the quickness.
Here's Holcomb, hooks it, hit it.
Boy, we haven't seen that in a while.
Derek Holcomb brings the Illini back to within 5 with 14-14 to go in the game. 44-39 Iowa. Boyle brings it down against Perry Range. Mark Gannon now for Iowa. To Boyle. Hanson to Gannon. Nice pass to Krafsis, who stuffed it.
Well, that's a heads-up play by a freshman right there. And saw the man come over and slip over and pick him up, and he bounced past it right to the big fellow who knocked it in. Boy, that was a nice play.
46-39 Iowa. Here's Rob Judson firing long, and he hit it. Illini warm it up now. 46-41, the lead 5 again. And for Judson, That's his first points of the evening. Boyle has an open shot, and he hit it.
Well, zone or no zone, I don't know how he can get open for those shots. You might as well just give him 2 points and take the basketball.
Kevin
He's getting
Boyle
everything.
wide open in the baseline that time. Here's Eddie Johnson. Works against Gannon. Puts it up. No good. Tip up is good by Johnson.
Got his own tip. What a play inside.
48-43. 13 minutes to go.
Eddie's coming to life, Dave.
That's 8 points for Johnson. Gannon fires long, and he hit it. Mark Gannon. The two
All of a
freshmen out
sudden.
there, really cool. Gannon and Hansen. 8 points now for Mark. 50-43 again. Another 7-point lead as Range puts it up. And off the back rim, no good. Johnson has the rebound, though. Back to Range. Tries it again, and he hit it.
Got away with the travel that time. Kind of scooted the feet, but got the ball to go down. Good
Very
play by
right.
Johnson in there that time to knock the ball back out to him.
50-45. Hansen drives, shoots, no good. And Hansen has the rebound. But taken away by Bresnahan. They go to the floor, be a jump ball.
All right. Good play by Breslin there. I don't know that a foul should have been called a little bit earlier, Dave, when Waite came over somebody's back. Oh, let's check. Hansen okay? Yeah, he's up.
Levi Cobb now coming in for the Illini to replace Eddie Johnson. Levi has not played much this season, but got a lot of action on the Rainbow Classic and did well.
Illinois is feeling the momentum starting to swing a little bit now, Dave. If Iowa controls the tip, look for them to slow it down and try to get a real good shot. They want to kind of cool things off here in the Assembly Hall.
Bresnahan jumping against Hansen. And Range picks up the ball as Bresnahan gets the tip.
Big trip down this time. Illinois needs a bucket.
This is Levi Cobb, Derek Holcomb. Holcomb looks back to Johnson in the corner, or Judson. He pops, good. 50-47, the lead is 3 with 11:42 to go. Iowa down quick, Krapsison. Now back to Hansen, he'll set it up. Judson with 4 points now. Wait deep to Krapsison, turn around, blocked by Holcomb, and he gets a foul. Derek hanging in there against Krapsison.
Derek's doing a good job down there, Dave. Unfortunately, he had bad position this time, right behind Kraft. Got a lot of the basketball, but got the arm as well. So he picks up his only first of the night, so he's in no trouble.
Timeout on the floor with 11:29 to go. The score, Iowa 50, Illinois 47. Well, the Illini are as close as they've been since late in the first half. It was 33-29 at halftime. Iowa immediately scored the first 5 points in the second half. Let's see. Yeah, 5 straight points. Illini now cut it to 3, 50-47, but Krapsison at the free throw line with 2 shots coming up. Kenny Arnold came back in the lineup during that timeout for Iowa. Waite sat down. And Krapsison misses the first free throw. That's good news for the Illini at this point. The second. Good. 51-47. Iowa pressing. Perry Range stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Give credit that time to the freshman, Bob Hansen, for forcing him out. Trying to go around Hansen. Couldn't do it. And the turnover gives the ball back to Iowa. And Judson sits down. Eddie Johnson back in. Make that Reno Gray. It's Gray, Bresnahan, Holcomb, Johnson, and Range for the Illini right now. It's Boyle.
They've done some switching. They have Brez on Boyle now.
Great block by Holcomb, but Gannon comes up with a loose ball.
Oh, Holcomb put it right back in Krapsison's face that time. Bresnahan on Boyle. Perry Range has Gannon, and Arnold's belongs to Reno Gray right now, or did.
Arnold, a foul called on Holcomb. And that play had already passed him by as Derek turned and Arnold went into it.
Neil Bresnahan trying to coach the referee a little bit and see what's going on down there.
2 shots coming up for Kenny Arnold.
Boy, Arnold showed the speed that time. He went right by Reno Gray, just took that baseline like he owned it.
Kenny Arnold, sophomore from Calumet High School in Chicago. Been averaging 13 points a game. Gets the first free throw to make it 52-47. Now has just 3 points in this game. Make it 4. 53-47, and just like that, Iowa back to 6.
And again, Iowa's back in the zone.
Range, Reno Gray to Bresnahan, fires from the corner. Off the rim, no good. Johnson rebounds, no good off the glass. Holcomb tips it to range. Illinois still has the ball. Here's Eddie trying again. He hit it. Eddie's better that way, not using the glass. 53-49. Johnson with 10 points. Just under the 10-minute mark now as Arnold puts it up and in. He scooted right in there.
Lou Henson wants a travel call, but I didn't see any travel that time. Kenny Arnold just taking Reno Gray right to the bucket.
55-49 Iowa. Illini just cannot break through that lead. Oh, Holcomb didn't see it coming, but recovers in time to tip it to Johnson. Gray puts it up. No good. Gannon hauls down the rebound for Iowa. So the Illini come up empty on that time down the court. There's Kraftsson, dumps it off to Boyle, hooks it up there no good, but draws the foul.
Once again, Boyle's in the right place. A good pass by Kraftsson. Boyle breaking right down the lane, and he had a wide open path and got fouled by Bresnahan.
Bresnahan, that's his second foul. Kevin Boyle at the line. He already has 13 points tonight. The leading scorer in the game. He's got 2 shots coming up. Makes the first one, 56-49. Bob Judson back in. With Perry Range as Lou Henson juggles those guards around. Check Boyle's free throw shooting. He is 17 of 20 coming into tonight. 85% of the free throw line for Kevin Boyle. He's a fine all-around player. Mark Smith coming back for Illinois. Bresnahan sits down. Kevin Boyle, the second of a 2-shot foul. 57-49, 8-point lead now for Iowa. Can't let it go on much longer. Iowa will put this game in the freezer. Johnson, Eddie Johnson. 12 points now for Eddie. He's getting his points.
Yeah, Eddie won't miss many of those shots.
57-51. Kenny Arnold puts it up and in. We get another foul coming up.
No bucket, charging foul. Oh, he counted it.
The basket counts, the charging foul, and Kenny Arnold.
Get a chance to see that one again coming up. Kenny Arnold's been by Reno Gray about the last 5 times down. Reno went for the steal that time. Kenny took it to the lane. Holcomb was there, but the ball was released before the contact, and the basket counts.
59-51, Iowa leading. Mark Smith has not scored in the second half. He had 8 points in the first half. And you see who's on him, too. Kevin Boyle. There's Judson to Holcomb. Now Smith goes to the basket, loses it out of bounds.
Lou Henson calling for the press.
Iowa 59, Illinois 51, 8.5 minutes to go. Kevin Boyle puts up the jumper off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. It's still Iowa ball.
tell you, with 8:15 to go, Illinois is going to have to do something in a hurry because we're going deep freeze before too much longer. I'll be surprised if Quinn Richardson doesn't get in there pretty soon to start harassing Mr. Arnold a little bit.
It's Arnold and Boyle.
Well, they're in no hurry right now.
Really taking their time.
They're just trying to force him into a man-to-man. They've got the job done now.
Traveling on Mark Gannon. That's a break. And we have a timeout coming down the floor. There's 7:55 to go in the game. It's Iowa 59, Illinois 51.
1-0.
Today, buying auto insurance is an important decision.
Well, Dan, things are getting serious at the Assembly Hall. 7:55 to go now. I got a feeling if these teams would play for 2 weeks, that lead would still be 8 points by Iowa. They've just been holding on to it. The Illini cut it down at 1 point, down to 3 points with 50-47. It's back to 8 now, 59-51. James Griffin back in the Illini lineup. Griffin, Johnson, Smith, Judson, and Gray. That's the way the Illini started the season, I believe, when the first starting lineup.
Yep.
As much as Lou has shifted these lineups around, that was the one that started the season. Here's Eddie open. Hit it. Oh, he'll camp there all day.
He's got that one down.
59-53. Press on for the Illini. Arnold coming down fast. Now holds up. 14 points for Eddie Johnson.
They're trying to post Arnold on Gray again. Let's see.
And we're going to foul coming up against Eddie Johnson that puts Iowa into the 1-1.
The way they shoot free throws, that's not good news for Illinois.
Iowa goes to the bonus, and it's Mark Gannon, 6'6" freshman from Iowa City. He has the 1-1. Oh, he hits the first one. No doubt about that one.
Almost missed the net.
60-53. Told you Iowa shoots free throws. 61-53 as Gannon is perfect at the free throw line. 7:25 to go.
Iowa's man-to-man again this trip. Kind of surprised me. They've been doing pretty well against that zone. I would think Lute Olson might want to keep it there.
Here's Griff. Down to Johnson. Puts it up and in. Illini work that ball under to Eddie Johnson. And it's 61-55. Boyle finally clears to Arnold. We're under 7 minutes now. Bob Hansen for the Hawkeyes. There's Boyle. Just a little bump from Smith. There's Gannon shooting. No good. Up high for the rebound. Boyle, but he tipped it over and into the hands of James Griffin. And here comes Illinois with a chance to cut it down to 4.
And in trouble.
Here's Mark Smith. Loops the pass to Griffin. Puts it. Oh, no. He missed it. Tried to slam it. And it hit the back of the board.
It wasn't even close. It hit up on the square. Bounced off the front of the rim and hit the square on the backboard.
Iowa's ball. They lead by 6. And Arnold's bumped by Reno Gray.
No shot, but he's going to get the 1-1, and the way they shoot him, might as well be 2 shots.
Nasty turn of events for the Illini.
There's the foul, the bump with the body on Reno Gray. Only his first. Perry Raines set the check back in for Illinois, and Reno's going to sit down.
Well, I wish we could have James Griffin's shot back.
It would be nice to see him just go up and lay that thing in, wouldn't it?
6 minutes even to go as Kenny Arnold gets the 1-1. Rimmed it. Griffin hauls down the rebound. So the Illini have some new life.
They need one here.
Judson in trouble from Arnold, but clears to Perry range. Here's Eddie. no good. An Iowa ball. It's Kevin Boyle up high to tap that ball to Arnold.
There's the 3 play, and that's Boyle from the side.
Kevin Boyle, only a sophomore, now has 17 points.
Well, they said big old Crafts isn't down there on the baseline and just break him out behind.
Lou Henson wants a timeout with 5:19 to go. The score, Iowa 63 and Illinois 55.
Now is your...
It's interesting to see Eddie Johnson scored only 2 points in the first half. He's come back with 14 in the second half. Mark Smith had 8 in the first half. He's had zip in the second half.
They need a little something out of both those 2 players to get back in this ball game right now. Only 5:19 to go, and Iowa's got an 8-point lead.
I'll tell you, Lute Olson knows how to get it done with his Iowa team.
He's a great
One way or
coach.
the other.
That's why he was the Big Ten Coach of the Year last year. They picked the Hawkeyes 8th last season. They ended up tri-champs.
And the only undefeated team in preseason this year for the Big Ten. Here's Judson firing again for the corner and hitting 63-57 is Eddie. They've been giving him that shot. There's Hansen all alone against Holcomb. Now back up front to Kenny Arnold. 63-57 as Arnold puts one up. No good off the back rim.
I bet Lute Olson didn't like that shot.
Illinois ball. Illini trying to cut into the lead. It's 6 right now with 4:45 to go. Judson, no good. And Hansen, the 6'5" guard, has the rebound. Bob Hansen.
Perry Range almost dug it away from Arnold that time. Well, Iowa really hasn't shown any inclination to slow it down.
Not yet.
They're still running their patterns.
Boyle stripped the ball by Rob Judson. That brought Lute Olson off the bench. Nice play by Rob Judson. And with 4 minutes to go, the Illini ball.
They're going right to Eddie every time.
Here's Range. He's bumped by Hansen.
Eddie got trapped downstairs, knocked it out to Perry Range, who got bumped by the freshman from Des Moines. So Illinois is going to get it inbounds. How close are they to the bonus?
They have 5 team fouls now.
So 2 more before Illinois shoots free throws. Just under 4 minutes to go.
Perry Range to Judson. Back to Range. To Bresnahan. Judson open. Hit it. Illini working that ball. Judson is open. And he takes it to 4. 63-59. We've got a ball game. 3:40 to go. Illini with 2 straight buckets. And
Over and
Arnold
back.
is over and back right in front of him.
No question about the call. Kenny Arnold on that reverse dribble.
We'll keep it here. We have 3:33 to go. The score, Iowa 63 and Illinois 59.
I think this is where we started this half.
We started this half at Iowa 33, Illinois 29. Each team has 30 points. And Illinois has the ball. The second half started bad as the Illini took the tip, had a breakaway, and missed an easy layup. It continued bad as James Griffin missed the slam.
Boy, that was a big basket, too. An important sequence. Old James just didn't get much on that one at all.
Illinois is home again on Saturday to host the Northwestern Wildcats, while Iowa on the road again, traveling to Michigan. You know, it used to be that there would often be staggered starts for the Big Ten season because semester breaks would fall at different times. Some schools are under the quarter system, some under trimester. But this year, everybody plays the same night all through the season. And there'll be a time where one team might race off and play 5 games while another team was just maybe playing 1 or 2 at the start of the season. Then they're going to have to catch up at the end of the year.
I'll tell you the way the league is this year. They're going to be showdowns every single night. Saturday, the big one is Purdue at Ohio State. Ohio State's got 2 biggies in a row. They're playing Indiana tonight, and they were down at halftime by a few.
Indiana on the road at Wisconsin. Minnesota playing at Michigan State on Saturday. The Illini have not been to the free throw line in the second half, while Iowa's been 8 of 10. There's the difference in the game right now. A 4-point lead for Iowa. But Illinois has the ball.
Back to the man-to-man by Iowa, Dave. They're going to try to force a little bit more pressure out here. They've seen enough of that corner shot.
Here's Smith. Whirls. Tries to put it up there, but he's fouled by Boyle.
Great spinning move by Mark Smith. Went right by Craftsism up for the shot, and Boyle rode him all the way to the floor. So Mark's going to get 2. And Illinois hasn't been closer than 2 points in a long, long time.
3 fouls, or 2 fouls, and 1 foul, boys. First foul of the season.
Gee.
Mark Smith hits the first. And now the lead is 3, 63-60. Mark Smith with his first point of the second half. And he can cut it to 2 with this one. He does. 63-61. The lead is 2, the closest the Illini have been this half. This is Mark Gannon with the ball for Iowa. 3 minutes to go in the game.
Well, Hansen almost lost his footing that time and went out of bounds.
Kevin Boyle looks to Hansen, has the shot. Hit it from the baseline to freshman Bob Hansen. And it's 65-61, the lead 4 again. As Dan mentioned, we'll see what this one goes. Smith hits the baseline.
Well, Smitty's shot that ball, and he's yelling for a foul down there. Mark Smith with a clutch bucket.
65-62. We said Iowa showed no inclination to slow things down, even when they had the 8-point lead, 9-point lead. Now the lead is 2 with 2:20 to go.
They're not going to slow down this time either, Dave. They're still working the offense, looking for a good shot inside.
Boyle finally clears the Craftsism. Now Hansen in the corner. Fires to Gannon and puts it up and in, and a foul called. Great pass that time to Mark Gannon.
What do they say? Good things come to those who wait, and that's exactly what they did. They waited until they got a good shot. That's a mark of maturity, even though they had those freshmen in there, Gannon and Hansen. They've been playing super basketball, and Gannon that time was the hero.
I'll tell you, Arnold and Boyle aren't exactly old. They're just sophomores. Here's Mark Gannon trying to convert a 3-point play. The lead 4 now for Iowa, 67-63. Gannon with 12 points. And here's the shot. Perfect. 68-63, a 5-point lead now for the Hawkeyes. With 1:59 to go.
Zone.
Iowa gets the ball back. May not see it again. Here's Johnson firing long and hitting.
Jeez. Eddie Johnson.
68-65. A minute 45 to go as Arnold brings down the lead 3 for Iowa. Gannon to Boyle. He'll shoot it up there and hits it. Kevin Boyle. 70-65. We'll give the Hawkeyes credit. Just keep firing. Here's Smith. Stripped. And Arnold and Smith are going to jump it up at the free throw line. With a minute 26 to go. The score, Iowa 70, Illinois 65. Mark Smith has the height advantage over Kenny Arnold. A big height advantage.
Think about tipping it straight back to Judson and getting a screen from Bresnahan. He could get a pretty easy shot right there.
There they go, except Iowa was there. They're going to say Hansen was in the circle.
Yeah, they were moving on the jump. They can't do that.
The Hawkeyes knew what was coming off, and Judson will toss in for Illinois. 1:26. Showing on the clock. Iowa by 5, 70-65, and going to have a timeout for the Illini. Little Hinson going to talk to Illinois, set things up. Eddie Johnson has just been torrid in the second half. He has had 18 points after getting only 2 points in the first half.
Boys, he hit some bombs, too. Almost everything from that right side. He's gotten inside a couple of times, but he's hit that wing jump shot from the right side of the floor about 5 or 6 times, and they've been big buckets every time.
Iowa has just been coming back in the Illini, though. First it was Hansen, then it was Gannon, then Kevin Boyle from the baseline.
You can't give those guys enough credit. They have played fantastic basketball. I just can't believe that they keep putting those shots up. I keep waiting for the slowdown, and it hasn't come yet. Not because they don't have the personnel, because we saw them slow down in the first half toward the end when they had the 2 big guys in. They still did a good job with it. Those are pressure baskets down there by Gannon, by Hansen. Of course, you come to expect it from Kevin Boyle. He's done it all last year, and he's done it all this year, too.
Iowa's been playing without Vince Brookins much of the second half. Brookins picked up his 4th foul early in the half. And and he's been one of the big board men. Derek Holcomb back in for the Illini. And Griffin will sit down, so it'll be Holcomb, Johnson, Bresnahan, Range, and Judson. Smith is not in there, notice. As the Illini prepare for the last 1 minute, 26 seconds of this game, and they're trailing by 5 points. They need a quick basket.
Iowa better get out faster. They're going to get something here. Can't believe Mark Smith's not in there. He's one of the 2 offensive guns, and what they need right now is points.
Here we go. Illini 8 points. Range to Bresnahan. Judson, there's the shot. No good. Johnson was up for the rebound. We got a foul called on Hansen. Bob Hansen picks it up.
Bonus time, so Eddie's going to have the 1-and-1. Here's the shot by Judd, skimmed off the rim, and Eddie was inside. Hansen pushed him on the back, and Eddie Johnson gets the 1-and-1, and are these big free throws.
Well, they say Derek Holcomb to the line.
Well, if you had your choice, I'll tell you, Derek's 9 for 24 for the year. He's way under 500. Eddie's a pretty good free throw shooter.
All 9 came in Hawaii, I think.
Yeah.
Smith's going to come back in there in a second.
Big throws right here for Derek Holcomb.
He has 4 points. He has 5. 70-66 to lead 4.
Tell you what, that's the big one. As long as they can get an even number, get it down to 4, they're going to have a chance to tie if they can get the ball away a couple of times. Anything else is just bonus.
There's a bonus, 70-67. As Holcomb converts both free throws. And then sits down.
Illinois got the timeout that time. They're going to set up some kind of pressure defense so they can try to dig that ball away. Only 1:19 to go. If Iowa gets down and runs some time off the clock, hits a couple of free throws, this one's going to be all over.
Kevin Boyle, the leading scorer in the game, with 19 points. Making Eddie Johnson with 20, and then Boyle with 19. So, well, I'll tell you, Eddie has 3, 6, 9 field goals here in the second half. The Illini have been to the free throw line just 4 times in the second half, and they've made 4 out of 4.
Holcomb really hit a big pair that time.
At the same time, Iowa's been at the free throw line 11 times, and they've hit 9 out of 11. So they have a 5-point edge at the free throw line and a 3-point edge on the scoreboard. Iowa 70, Illinois 67. The Hawkeyes looking for their 10th win of the season. No defeats. Illinois coming in at 10-2. The strategy is set. And we'll see who the Illini will have in there. As Lou Hinson goes into platooning at this point between defense and offense. Smith, Johnson, Bresnahan, Judson, and Range. So
check and see what Illinois
takes
does.
out Holcomb.
I don't think Illinois is going to pressure the inbounds pass. In fact, they may let the ball come in and then try to get a quick trap on the guy who gets the pass. We'll check it.
There it goes. Brookins back in for Iowa.
Almost dug away by Smith.
Wild Arnold. And the Hawkeyes clear the 10-second line. Arnold's going to shoot it up.
What is
and
he
missed.
doing?
But Gannon got the rebound, and we got a jump ball.
What is Kenny Arnold doing? I can't believe he took that shot up. Lute Olson can't believe it either. I think he really can't believe the jump ball call. Boy, Gannon crashed the boards. There's the rebound. Harry Range right in there. We're kind of screened off by Smith. Couldn't see exactly if there was contact, but
Lute Olson holding his head over there. Couldn't believe the shot.
he'll jump it up.
Range and Gannon. And Gannon has the height advantage on this one.
Mark Smith holds his ground, so this is up for grabs.
There goes. Judson steps in and gets it, but taken away by Gannon. Oh, we had it. Judson had it, but Gannon took it away. Here's Krafsison driving. Now, out front to Arnold. 55 seconds to go. Iowa leading 70-67. Boyle to Gannon. Then Arnold taken away by Range. There he goes against Arnold. Puts it up and in. Lewis gets a timeout with a score 70-69.
What a play by the sophomore guard from South Beloit. Talking about a pressure situation. Harry Range came up and did just what he had to do. Made the steal, made the layup, and it's a one-point ball game, 70-69. 43 seconds to go, Dave.
Well, that play has inspired the crowd a bit here.
They're on their feet for the fight song. There's the situation as we see it from the floor here. 70-69. The Hawkeyes with a 1-point lead in the basketball. But they're going to get some pressure from Illinois right now.
At one point, Illinois cut the lead to 65-63, but this is as close as they've been. 70-69, as close as they've been in the second half.
The only thing is, this is so reminiscent of the Marquette game that teasingly went away, and the Warriors won that ball game, so hopefully it won't be an instant replay. Illinois has got to force a turnover here, or force Iowa to the line and get them to miss a free throw.
Iowa 70, Illinois 69 with 43 seconds to go. This is just what my voice needed, Dan.
Good yelling, screaming finish, huh?
The Hawks out on the floor. Here comes Illinois.
Comes Lute Olson halfway down the floor to give final instructions to the Hawkeyes. Brookins is back in for Iowa.
Smith in there for the Illini. Range, Bresnahan, Judson, and Johnson. And the Illini repeat the performance of a few seconds ago. Gannon, inbounds, Arnold.
Oh, Bresnahan shot right by him, and Kenny got it over the line.
Boyle, 35 seconds to go. Boyle with the ball. Arnold to Boyle. And I may have to foul here, and they do. Range fouls Kevin Boyle.
30 seconds to go. There wasn't much choice. Perry Range trying to dig it away. Probably got a hand on the ball, but Kevin Boyle's going to get free throws. 1-and-1, no two-shot foul. They didn't rule intentional, so that's a break for Illinois.
Well, Boyle, a good foul shooter. He's 3 out of 3 at the line tonight. He has 19 points.
20 and 21 would be awful big ones if he can get these free throws in.
30 seconds to go as Boyle with a 1-and-1. Here it goes. Good. Kevin Boyle makes it 71-69. Now the bonus. It's up. It's good. 72-69. Iowa by 3. The clock ticks down. 25 seconds to go. Rob Judson to Johnson. Fires long. Hit it!
What a shot.
Beauty. And Illini won another timeout. 72-71.
What a shot. Eddie Johnson has been fantastic in the second half.
20 seconds to go now. The clock ticked off 10 seconds as Boyle hit 2 free throws. Illini came down and Johnson hit one from downtown Urbana.
Well, what if he had a Chicago Bulls uniform on? That was 3 points.
Well, we could use the 3 points.
That was about 35 feet. Eddie's got 10 baskets in the second half. He's got 22 for the night after only 2 points in the first 20 minutes of this ball game. It's defense time again for Illinois. They almost dug it away from Arnold last time. Let's see what they can do this time.
This is the 3rd time the Illini and Iowa have been in this situation. Illinois stole the ball the first time with Range going down. The second time, Iowa got it down. Illinois fouled, and Boyle hit the free throws. So
it comes down to about 10 seconds to work with here, Dave. If Iowa gets the ball over the line, Illinois is going to have to foul them by about the 10-second mark and send somebody to the free throw line. Hope they miss. Otherwise, they won't have much time to get a decent shot off. If they can get the ball back with 10 seconds and be 1 or 2 points down, they're going to have a pretty good shot.
Gary Colkin was up for the Illini. Let's see if he's going to be coming in and see if Lou is going to change lineup on it.
He'll go with quickness, I'm sure, and that Perry Range will definitely be in. Of course,
Here comes, nope, Derek sitting down. It'll be the same lineup.
yeah, Holcomb's not in.
And here we go again. 20 seconds to go. Iowa 70, Illinois 72, Illinois 71. Inbound. The Crafts is in, lost the ball. Arnold picks it up. And taken away by Smith. And again, it gets away. And Perry Range picks up the foul. Oh, that ball was like a hot potato.
That was the craziest 5 seconds you'll ever see. Here it is.
All kinds of chances.
Perry Range with a tackle. First down, Iowa.
That ball was like it was greased. No one could pick. They lost 5 seconds off the clock. 15 seconds to go as Craftsman goes to the free throw line. What a wild scramble that one was. And the Illini looked like they could just pick the ball up and go down and lay it in.
Kraft Sissons 4 of 6 from the line tonight. 4 out of 6. And he's shooting the biggest ones of the Big Ten season. Of course, this being the first game, these may decide the basketball game right here.
Here he goes. First of a 1-and-1. No good. Here come the Illini. Count it down. 10 seconds. Range with the ball. Smith goes around, puts it up, blocked. Illinois ball with 6 seconds to go.
What a play by Steve Krafts, and what a block from behind. I can't believe he didn't get contact. Get another look at Mark Smith in the lane. Now you just missed that. There goes the ball out of bounds.
Iowa wants a timeout. With 6 seconds to go, it's Illinois ball. The Illini will have a chance to set up a play.
Well, we played 39 minutes and 54 seconds, and we're coming down to the last 6. And that's where it's going to be decided.
The last Illinois lead was 4-2. The game has been tied up since that time. But the Illini have not been ahead in this half and only led briefly in the first half. It's been catch up all the way. As I mentioned, it looked like they could play 2 weeks without the Illini cutting into that 5, 6, and 7-point lead that Iowa had. But it's down to 1 point, and Illinois has the ball with 6 seconds to go. A game that played kind of slow for about the first 3 quarters, but it's certainly picked up here in the last 2 minutes.
You couldn't ask for anything more from the Big Ten Conference opener than we've had from Iowa and Illinois tonight. And it's not over yet.
Well, who's going to shoot the last shot? Eddie Johnson has the hot hand, but to be a question of getting him loose.
6 seconds is plenty of time. They have a little bit of time to pick and choose. Not too much, but enough so they should be able to spring somebody open. Of course, Iowa's played super defense all night. Illinois has had to work hard to get anything on the board.
It'll come down to perhaps, well, 1 shot and a rebound, or maybe just 1 shot. It depends on how much Illinois is going to take off the clock, and Iowa wants another timeout. 6 seconds to go. Now the Illini lineup will be Bresnahan, Range, Smith, Johnson, and we presume Judson when they break.
They get Judson in there just in case something doesn't develop inside. They can kick it back to him. And of course, he's a good outside shooter. He's won a couple of games in his career here at Illinois on last-second shots, and one of them was against Iowa a couple of years ago.
That's right. And right at that basket. The same basket they'll be shooting for tonight.
If I'm not mistaken, the score was just about the same, too. Go back in my book and check here.
Well, much of the crowd on its feet.
Judson's bucket made it 77-76 Illinois back there in 1977-78 season.
Well, this first game important to both teams, getting off on the right foot for the Big Ten season. And both teams want to be contenders. Iowa got a share of the Big Ten championship last year, and of course undefeated coming into this one. And Illinois trying to put together 2 good halves of the season, coming in 10-2. Of course, last year they won their first 15 games before the roof caved in, and they went 4-11 for the last 15. Now we're set to go. Illinois will inbound under its own basket, and Kevin Bontemps is going to come in, Dan.
Can't say I'm not a little bit surprised at that move.
Bontemps in for Perry Range. Bontemps will inbound. Bontemps, Judson, Johnson, Bresnahan, and Smith for the Illini. For the final 6 seconds, this place is up for grabs. The crowd on its feet. Here we go.
Tight zone.
Here's Judson. Puts up the shot. It doesn't drop. Bontemps puts it up. No good, and that's the ball game. The Illini missed 2 shots, and Iowa wins it 72-71. And the Iowa Hawkeyes have come away with a victory. Rob Judson did not have a good open shot. He almost forced the ball up there. The ball bounced right back in the hands of Kevin Bontemps, who also popped it up there. It was long, and that was the ball game.
Boy, what a way to lose
6 seconds. The Illini missed 2 shots, 2 chances, and Iowa wins it 72-71. We'll take a look at the scoring and recap tonight's game in just a few moments. Rapids, Des Moines, or Iowa City, you'll like the next few seconds that you see. If you're in Champaign-Urbana, Peoria, Decatur, or Springfield, you won't. Here it is, the last 6 seconds. Rob Jetson got the shot up there. Didn't drop. Ball was tapped back to Bontemps. His shot no good. In fact, there was even a third shot. I don't know it would have counted.
I think it was all over by then. Neither shot was really close, Dave. And Iowa comes away with a hard-earned 72-71 Big Ten Conference opening victory.
So Iowa with 10 straight victories to start their season, and they win this Big Ten opener. We'll be back to set the scoring for you in just a few moments. Points, Smith with 12 over on the Iowa side. Kevin Boyle with 21 points. You can't say enough for that Hawkeye team out there playing without Ronnie Lester.
He played Super Ball, so did the freshman. Gannon had 13, Crafts is in 10, Brookins 10. Those are the double-digit scores for the Hawkeyes, who win it tonight.
And that wraps it up from the University of Illinois Assembly Hall in Champaign. We're the final score again in a game that went right down to the last seconds when the Illini missed 2 shots in the final 6 seconds. Iowa 72, Illinois 71. For our viewers on WCIA, we'll be back next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. with the Illinois-Purdue game from West Lafayette, Indiana. This is Dave Shaw with Dan Roan. We'll see you next week.